Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
And welcome to Bits Radio. I'm your host, Rob. Today is the beginning of Blood in the Snow 2021, and I am so excited for this. Luckily, we have someone here that has one of their short films debuting at Blood in the Snow. And not only is it one of their short films, it's her directorial debut. So joining me today, I have Sandra Foisy and the producer, Anthony Ecclissi. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for Bits?
I'm super stoked. I'm not going to lie. It's been like 3 years since I last went to Bits. So.
Oh, yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see you in 19 either, did we?
Mm-mm.
No? That's right.
No.
And then, well,
only 2020.
Yeah. that never happened.
Yeah, just skip that entire year.
I have to ask, because you've always been in front of the camera. What made you decide to step behind the camera?
Ooh. I guess it was easier for me to direct my own script in a way. Like I wasn't sure if I'd be able to trust somebody else to do it necessarily, because it's very personal, which is very cliche of me to say, but it's a very personal project, and I felt that I would be the best person to tell that story. Yeah.
I noticed too, you not only were in it, but you had underwater work. It's like literally just throwing a kid and an animal, and you've got like all the bad things that you should do.
I know. I thought of that after when we started doing the logistics of it, because on paper it's like, oh yeah, that looks so cool, that looks so fun, we could do that, and then like, how are we going to do that? Okay. So it was like, why did I decide to work with water for my first short? I'll never know, but I feel like I could do anything now.
Right? You checked off some big boxes when it comes to directing, so you're good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anthony, what made you sign on to this project?
Well, it's interesting because I didn't even sign on to begin with in the first set of shooting in 2019. I was busy with the music video project and other projects, but I was there to support Sandra in a sense, professionally and with advice. And I told her, keep me in mind. And then once the pandemic happened and schedules kind of freed up, and she was going to the second block of shooting, I said, I'm available and I'm so ready to help you with this. So yeah, it was a really good shoot.
Now it's playing this weekend or this festival. Do you know when it's playing?
Yeah, it's playing Sunday, November 21st at 6:45 p.m., which is part of the Emerging Screams short film block.
Perfect. And can you give us a rough description of Breathe?
So I can't say much because it's like a 5-minute film. But what I always tell people is it's a short dramatic thriller with horror elements. And it is about a woman who is drawn to a lake by an unforeseeable force that keeps her there.
I like it. That kind of does sum it up. Once you watch it, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to ask, was the underwater stuff tough? I've only ever interviewed one other person that did underwater things, and they had to bring in like a scuba person and...
Yes. There were many things we wanted to do. But then when we actually got on location and we were working with the equipment that we had a few problems and we had to improvise. So luckily, Anthony brought another camera and we used a different camera most of the time.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't part of our backup plan, but I just had it as kind of like a behind the scenes camera, and it happened to go underwater. So when the original plan was getting kind of bubbly, let's say, a little bit too watery, we went with the backup, and it turned out good. It turned out great. We were really pleasantly surprised that the little camera worked, and the DP was free to use it, and even Sandra used it in her own sense too.
Well, it worked out really well too in a visual sense, I would say, only because you can, now that I know it was two different cameras, you can see a touch of a difference, but it adds to the claustrophobia underwater. And
Yeah.
it was so nicely shot under there. Cause I know me personally, underwater shots, if I had to direct any, I would be terrified. So congratulations on that.
Temperatures aside.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like editing this, Anthony? Because as you know, Sandra wrote it and what directed it, starred in it. How involved in the editing was she?
Oh, she's co-editor, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I could only go so far into her brain as to how I could see this being edited out, but working together, we found the narrative and worked through all the obstacles, and we had a great time. And we had the soundtracks kind of in the back of our head. We had the score as a main element to our editing, and we had to use those musical guidelines and rhythms within our editing process, which was good and fun. It's not a quiet editing room. It was a little bit more joyful, and we're both actors too, so we're always going to add a little bit more excitement in our process.
Well, I know the one thing about any film, a really good friend of mine said people will be forgiving with story. They'll even be forgiving with acting. But when it comes to sound, if it's bad, you're out. And your sound design was incredible.
Oh, I'm so happy with it. Dominic is amazing. Amazing. Like, I've seen other work he's done. He worked on Bleed With Me, which was at BITS last year. Even my DP Renee shot Bleed With Me last year. So it's a really solid team. And I know quite a few sound recorders, and they've told me that from the very beginning. Like, if your sound is crap, like, your movie is going to be crap, because people are just going to tune out completely. Not because they want to, it's just what ends up happening.
Yeah.
And especially dealing with everything underwater, like, he had to recreate all of the water sound and movement and add on the composition of the music. Like, it's a lot of layers, and I'm really happy with what he did.
I'm excited that it's going to be in a theater now, because when we originally spoke and you said, make sure you have headphones in, it's like, okay, she must be pretty proud of the sound, because when you have your headphones in, you hear everything.
Everything.
So those opening shots, I was really watching, and it's like, wow, that was like the sound of the forest, the whole bit.
Yeah.
And as soon as it hit underwater, it's like, it's really good.
You hear the
and that's what I was thinking. It's like, the sound will not push people out of this film at all.
No.
Now, how much in advance did you do that sound design? Did you already have it in your head what you wanted before you even started shooting, or was it done on the fly as you were editing?
I think a lot of it was on the fly as we were editing, because then we could see, what was missing. Some sound we captured naturally during the shot, so that worked really well. But everything underwater had to be recreated, so we were relying a lot on Dominic to take from his sources, and we recorded a few extra sounds, and some happened organically too. Like, there's a dog that you hear barking at one point. It was a real dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, those kind of little accidents are beautiful, because it adds to the authenticity of the environment.
Plus, we were right there in nature. Like, you heard the birds in the morning waking up, like the chickadees, like we heard like crows, everything, and you get a chance to actually like hear some of it in the film.
Now, being this is your directorial debut, it's always interesting to find out when it started and when it finished, because I heard Anthony say you were filming in 19.
Yeah.
So roughly how long did this project take?
I wrote the script in January 2019. And we were set to shoot it the summer of 2019, at the end of the summer. And of course, things happen, and we couldn't do it due to scheduling conflictions. But we were able to do one segment in the fall of 2019. It was actually the end of October that we did that. Oh. And you know what I'm talking about, because it's in the water.
It's got to be cold.
It was. Especially when I'm wearing like a bathing suit. Normally, I couldn't cheat it completely. Wearing a wetsuit. Everybody else had wetsuits, like 14 millimeter wetsuits, and I had half a wetsuit that I rolled down.
Oh man!
So from my waist to my ankles, I was snug as a bug, but the rest of me was not.
And that's cold water in October.
It's cold water in October. It wasn't so much the water; it was the mud that I was standing on, the ground.
Oh yeah, because you walk out at the beginning, so it's not that deep.
Yeah. No, that part was fine. It's a different part, but like the section we were in was quite shallow, so I mean, I did have to walk out to get there. So I didn't think to bring sandals. The things you learn, you're like, oh yeah, I could have wore like water shoes. Nope, barefoot.
Oh yeah, you couldn't because it's not on camera. So
no, exactly. I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, I got to wear like what you see, But yeah, it was cold. But we got like one of my favorite shots of the film, and it was all natural. Like no tricks, no machines. It was just nature, like taking its course.
So did all of your footage get shot at that time?
No, that's just one section. The rest of it we did the summer of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was wondering about that too, because it is kind of a, individual cast almost. So that's why I wondered if COVID played a factor in the filming of it.
Not so much. I mean, we did shoot at the end of August. We were aiming for a bit before, but not too much. A lot of people ended up being available, like Anthony and others. So it ended up being a real blessing that people's schedules started opening up, and we could actually all work together.
Excellent. So Anthony, being out there in October, you weren't in the October part, you were in the August, correct?
Correct. And then Sandra and I did a pickup day.
September,
late September probably, which was a little bit cooler. And she was in the water again.
Almost cold, but October cold.
Yeah, exactly.
September cold.
Yeah. So how was it like for you being on set during that? Like how many days did you guys film?
We did the one day up north when I was there, and then the pickup day / afternoon, plus her original 1 day shoot in 2019. So I was there for the 1 day. We stayed overnight beforehand with the crew at the house of her parents that they were selling.
Yeah.
So we were really, really close to set, and we got to bond all the night before, and get an early start and not feel too rushed. Although we had to deal with the elements messing us up in certain areas. We kind of went with the flow in terms of scheduling, and I mean, I cracked the whip in terms of an AD/PM at certain moments, but I couldn't stop the rain, and that's one issue you just can't fight sometimes.
Oh no, it was raining that day too.
At the end of the day, we saw this storm cloud, and it was coming fast. So we were like, okay, we gotta go back to the other lake, because we shot at 2 lakes, and we almost did it. But there were a couple shots that it just started raining and it didn't match up. So we had to do pickups like a week or 2 later.
That's the other part with outside too, depending on the sun intensity, If you have storm clouds, there's not a lot of sun coming in. So
no, everything was outside. Yeah, there was no interior. It was just up to Mother Nature and her mercy.
Now, how did that affect you for editing, Anthony? Like, was there a lot that was left on the cutting room floor for this, or was it a pretty good tight shoot that translated into editing well?
We had the pickup day for that shot specifically, and we had planned it before. We had talked to the DP because he wasn't available to be there, so I was able to do the pickup shot with Sandra, but we practiced it a little bit before, and because we were in the editing suite at the same time, we knew what we needed. And she knew what she needed, and then the sun complied, so that was the major issue. And we took our time. We had all our sound already, so we didn't need to bring any sound the set that day. But we got what we needed, and more than anything, it was a cathartic experience for Sandra, and the healing of that rain that day, plus just the entire experience to get it from beginning to end, and now celebrating it at Blood in the Snow, which is great. So
excellent.
Be part of that experience and Sandra's journey.
Anthony, is this your first time at Bits?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. Really excited to be part.
Yes. This is your third time, right, Sandra?
Yes.
Second.
Yeah.
Third?
Third, yeah.
Because I know Spread.
Yeah, Spread was 2016. House Among the Trees was 2018.
There we go. Yeah.
And House Among the Trees did like the Bits tour in Ottawa, which I think was 2018, 2019. And now here we are, 2021.
That's the one that confused me because I wasn't able to go to Ottawa, but I remember seeing Spread at Bits, and it's like, I don't know if I'm actually seeing a second one. Did I just see it from you, or how did I see it?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it was. You sent it to me. And that was a good one too.
Yeah. No, House Among the Trees was in Toronto and Ottawa.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Bits, Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any more plans to get behind the camera, Sandra?
Probably.
Yes. This is a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of directing more. I direct a lot of my friends in audition tapes. So, I mean, that's been my experience from an actor's perspective. So I'd love to kind of sink my teeth in a little bit more. And I have other scripts that I need to write and other ideas that I want to explore. So It's just a question of time.
Well, yeah, that's true. And practice. So
that too.
Excellent. So again, it's Sunday at 6:45.
Sunday, 6:45. Yeah.
Perfect. So make sure you get out to the Royal in person and check out this film along with some other short films. Like we were talking previous, the short film block to me is the best because there's so many different emotions and stories that hit you at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I think, is going to kind of knock your socks off. So
yeah, I mean, I miss festivals. I miss being there in person, and I have to say, shorts programming, it's fun to weave in and out of sometimes the extremes when it gets to genre festivals and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see the whole block, and I think that Breathe kind of gives you a different sense when you'll be in that programming, and I'm excited that the audience will be on that roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting when they match a short with a film, like usually feature. The one that comes to mind is when Secret Santa was there. They had a Christmas short film. So when you can match them like that, it's great. But in the shorts block, you literally, it's a grab bag. You don't know what you're going to get, which...
Yeah, you don't know what's coming. It's so good.
Well, guys, thank you so much for doing this. Everybody get ready for Bits starting tonight. And we will see you all Sunday at 6:45 at the Royal.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jan Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart. I am Eduardo Correa Lima. Till next time.